Welcome to 3-week workshop on programming in C++. In this video, I'm going to explain the concept of a passing object as argument and as well as a returning object as a return type. Actually, we know that if you want to communicate with the functions, even if the functions want to communicate, the needed messages must be shared as an arguments. But still now we had an idea how to pass the normal value as an argument. In some situation, the object may be passed as argument. So we must to know about if we are passing object as argument, what we need to do and what are the procedures we want to do, and if you want to return object as a return type, and what is the procedure we want to do. So these are the things we need to aware before going to know about that. So here, first of all, I'm going to explain the concept of a passing object as an argument. So if you want to pass object as an argument, first of all, we know that if you want to pass any value as the argument, that while in a formal parameter in the corresponding function definition, we must know what is the data type, and as well as we are going to define the formal parameter name. So first one is the data type is very important. So if you are passing object as argument, the data type of that object must be in a class name as a data type. And the second one is the formal parameter name. So you know that even though if you are giving a same name for the formal parameter, it takes it will take only the copy. Only for the reference, also it take a reference. So if you are passing object as argument in C++, it won't take a reference. Means if you are it will just copy the values. So if you are passing an argument, you can take any formal parameter name or maybe the same parameter name, but it won't affect anything. Okay, so let us to have a simple example. And so I'm going to pass object as argument, but here I don't want to use copy constructor. So just I'm going to create a one simple, just as a demo. I'm not going to relate this is some application. So first of all, I'm going to make a structure first. Always try to make a structure first, and you can add whatever you need, but don't make an entire program in a single step. Just you can add one by one, and the testing it is simple, line by line. So class here, I'm going to testing object as argument. So let my class name is a test. So here assume that for easy understanding, I'm going to take as a complex. Will be helpful for us to understand. So you know that for a complex, there are two numbers we need. One is a real number and imaginary size. I don't want interested to go with the constructor here. If you want, you can go with the constructor. Okay, I will go with the constructor. So complex. And I will go with the parameterized constructor. So normally for the parameterized constructor, it needed two parameters, one for represent complex number, means real, another one is imaginary. But actually here the name of that local variable name and the formal parameter is name. But we know that the constructor is copy assigning the value for only the instance number, so that we are referencing with this keyword, means this pointer. But maybe you can think that why we need to give means the same name. It makes a confusion why you are not interested to go with this different name. Yeah, that is your choice. But according to the logic, you know that if you always to define the name, it should reflect what is the purpose. So that only I'm representing the same name. Just avoid. It improve the readability of the program. So now I just initialize the values, so that I'm going to create two classes. So complex, the first complex number represent 4 and 5, and I'm going to create another one more object complex C2. We have 10, -3. So like that it is represented. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to add these two complex numbers. So by using C1.add, I want to pass C2 as argument, because if you want to add, I needed two arguments, but these are the methods for an object. So void complex. Now assume that here I just simply display so that object that is for add method, there is a one object, so that the data type is a class name, and I'm going to give the same name. So that if I, so you know that that's a current object is a C1. It is a C1. So that just I'm going to add that is C1 dot real equal real, sorry, current object, so that we can access as usual. And I want to add our imaginary. So I'm taking the C2 inside. Here, if you are changing the name of the variable, you must use the name, but no need to think about what is the object you are passed here. Okay, just I'm using some local variable. Just I'm storing here. So then I'm going to print it. So real value and imaginary value. I'm going to compile the 6 errors. Constructors cannot have a return type. Sorry. No, I forgot to put as class name is add. Thank you. Actually, it's a add. Only one method. Too many in declarations. Yeah, that means that I forgot to put a semicolon here. So no error. Just I'm going to run it. So you know that one is just a minute. Just I call after the function call so that everything is erased. So CLR is here. Just and compile the value of imaginary and real value, and as well as this arrow mark imaginary. Just to what this is only for understanding purpose. So according to the user perspective, you have to define whether you want to print and identify the correct way of display and all. Just demo purpose and just displaying the values. No errors. And I'm going to call it. Just a minute. The output is not displayed. Actually, the exact output is 0. So that 10 plus for 14 and 5 minus 3 2. So it display the correct way. Okay, so now just compile. Run the program. So this is I2. So or otherwise I'm going to display at the end only. So normally my suggestion, you can use a separate method to display those values. So or there is not, that is for plus. So, but based on that your requirements, you can define it here. There is no restriction that we must to follow this format. You don't have those kind of restrictions. I just compile now. Just I'm going to run. So it will display as usual. No problem. Okay, so from that, what we need to understand that if you are passing object as argument, the class name is, that means the data type must be in a class name. It is very important, and we need to access. This is the object, so that we need to access the property by using the name of your formal parameter dot the corresponding property. It is a very important. You must remember. And the second thing is, it's okay, now it's okay. But what I'm expecting that I want to store this value in C3. So like that I want to store. So here this is a function call. Before function call, if that is a equal statement, always we need that. It means that the value must be returned. Correct. So if the value return means you must know what is the return type C3. C3 is the object. So that in this case, the calculation must be return a value. So if you think that the function return a value, it must be a class name must be a return time. And the next thing is you should to create a temporary object in that class. So you can create a temporary object. Then you have to store in a temporary object. The results will be stored on temporary variable. Always you have to store only in a temporary variable and you have to pass it. But here the name of your temporary variable and the return object should not be same. So just for easy understand temporary variable. Once the calculation is over, then you can say it is a return C3. Clear? So that you can use a separate method to display all the values. So this is imaginary. And by using C3 dot display, this is a method for a display. You can so use a separate method. So we need to put a default constructor also. So if you want to include a parameterized constructor, always you are creating object, you must to follow a parameterized constructor. Okay, so now I'm going to run this program. 14 plus 2i it will be displayed. So that it's very important. You must remove that. If you are not only for the same method, some method we need an object as argument, but it won't return anything. But some situation, the object maybe it won't take any parameter, but it will return a value. But based on then, but here just I added both the logic in the same function, but not necessary. Only thing you must remember that if you want to pass object as argument, the data type must be as class name, and you have to access the name of the parameter by using this formal parameter object name dot. That's the only thing if you want to pass object as argument. Once if the object must be a return type, first of all you must create a memory location for that object. Then after that you must to return that object as a return type. So while you are returning, so before the function call, you must to have store it in some other object. Maybe you can define like this also instead of this. So it will work. At the time of object creation itself, you can assign it. It is also one possibility you can do that. So from that, what you understand that if you want to pass object as argument, the first thing is the data type very much important and the name of the formal parameter name. So inside of the function definition, always the parameters, the properties of the class must be accessed by using the formal parameter. And so second thing is if you want to return object as argument, first of all, we need to allocate a temporary members of the object as a return. So the object must be returned as a return type. So that if you are returning, that class name must be in a return type. So these are the basic things you must remember while you are returning object as argument, or maybe you want to return object as a or maybe return type. Thank you.